Okay, I'm so thankful for you joining, Dina. It's wonderful. It's always so useful for people and so interesting. And thank you for the willingness, courage, signing up for coming to do the work.
And
Uh,
I want to thank you for having me here and for offering for me this wonderful opportunity.
you are so welcome. I love it when people sign up for it. It's great. I think, well, they're so brave, and I can't tell you. I get lots of I get emails and notes and comments from people saying, I'm so glad that that's there. That was so fantastic. I loved it when the person did it on this, just whatever their topic is, they really like hearing the process of the work so they can kind of find some peace with their own thinking. So,
Mm.
so tell me what's going on for you. Tell me what's happening in your mind and what you want to look at.
Okay, this is my about my friend John, and we've known each other for many, many years. And I know him because we're in the same acting classes together and the same improv. We used to be, not anymore. And we used to hang out like after class, lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the circumstances, that was the opportunity for us to hang out.
Hmm.
And then I dropped out of the acting class, and then he dropped out of the improv class. So, but we would have very intimate, wonderful conversations. We were very close, and I would sometimes occasionally initiate for us to get together. Like John, would you like to go to this event? Or and it was always no. And then
Mm.
I asked him about that, and I said, uh, I what's going on? I feel like I'm always initiating, and I'm always you're saying no. And then he said, I don't like to make commitments. I don't like to plan. So I said, that's okay. Uh, that's different. But
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, I'm also open to doing things at the last minute, um, you know, to make it workable. So that never happened. We used to speak on the phone
Ah. Uh-huh.
at length about everything. That kind of that stopped.
Oh,
So I thought, okay.
yeah.
When something puzzling happened, he asked me to subscribe with him to go to the theater, a season tickets.
Oh, yeah.
So that's six plays. So we would have dinner before the theater and then go.
Yes.
This last time is the focus of my work.
Okay.
We had dinner, we got our seats, we sat down, and there was one seat available next to him. Anyway, we sat down, and I was telling him about my friend. I said, John, my friend Louise, for every time we go out, she starts talking to strangers, and then I always feel like I'm just standing there waiting for her to finish,
Mm.
and um, and I'm not comfortable with it, and I don't like it. And I know people would say, "Well, why don't you just include yourself?" And frankly, it's because I'm not interested. I don't, especially if I have very short time with her, and I haven't seen her in a long time,
Mm. Sure.
and so I said this. And then this woman sits next to him and starts yapping away with her wine glass, and she's sipping da 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 da, and he's enraptured. He's like, and I'm like sitting there like, are you kidding me?
You know
What
that
is
thing
the
that I just said? It's happening right now.
what is the universe doing?
Yes.
So
Oh.
I looked at her
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of lost it. I said, excuse me, I didn't lose it, but I said, "Excuse me, do you not see that we're together?"
Hmm.
And she goes, "Well, I'm not flirting with him." I said, "Oh, no, no, no. We're not together like that, but we are together. And here you're having this monologue with him, not thinking." And then he said, "Well, I disagree."
Uh-huh. Okay. All right.
And
Oh.
so I said, "I'm just baffled by how." And then she said, "I get it. I get it. I
Hmm.
got the message. That's the scenario."
Okay.
And we did talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just explained to me that, he loves to talk to strangers, and I'm a different type of person.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gregarious. He's like a tour guide, an actor, like that.
Yeah. All
But
right.
and I said, "I see you once every 2 months for a very limited amount of time.
Hmm. Got it.
And if we saw each other more frequently, it would be cool. If we were on vacation, we would have, and have all the. I too like to speak to strangers, but under these circumstances,
Hmm.
I'm not interested in getting." And he said, "Well, she needed to talk." And
Hmm.
I'm like, "Well, I needed you."
Yeah.
And he
Okay.
goes, "Well, I wanted to get to know her." And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, so what's the greatest objection when you look at that and you might be saying, you know, unedited, which is I love how you're just telling it like it is. Um, but with him being the focus of attention, because I can see you already don't want interference with strangers. You were even sharing that with him, and then a stranger came along. Okay, really? Um, but when you're looking at him, what would you say is the worst offense?
uh, "Disrespect."
Okay, he's disrespecting me. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know exactly what's happening. Get a sip of water here. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when he said, "I disagree," rather than being my sensitive and being my advocate and saying, excuse, "Sorry, but I'm with my friend and I'd like to chat with her." No, he's like, and so my statement is, "I'm angry with John because he doesn't value me."
Okay. Okay. So let's really, really look. So just given this strangers in the world, you're even thinking about strangers and other people who might not value you because there they are with strangers, Louise. And then, so that's kind of bringing it into it. And then here's John. All right, what a great one for everyone to think about, whoever, as we look and see who people should be paying attention to or talking to or whatever. But he is not valuing you. Just look at him speaking to her. Is that true? He's not valuing you.
Yes.
Okay. So can you absolutely know that? See if that is the absolute truth, that what's happening there is he is not valuing you. Just look at him talking to this other person. Can maybe even do it with Louise. There she is talking to other people. Okay, he's not valuing you. Can you absolutely know that's the truth?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I think what came up is he's not considering me. Also came up,
Uh-huh.
and that's
Sure.
a definite yes. He's not considering me.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, we could just continue with value.
Yes.
That's
Yes. So you're looking, you're like seeing, yeah, no. Okay. And that's he doesn't value me. It's true. It's absolutely true. Absolutely true. It's all right. What happens when you think it? How do you react when you believe this? Just look at him and notice what it feels like inside as you see this image of John talking to the woman with the wine glass. How do you react?
I'm outraged.
Ah, yeah.
I'm I'm kind of like what in disbelief,
Mm,
and yeah, so definitely very angry and very hurt, and I feel less than. I feel like what's going on over here with this other woman is much more significant than I am.
uh-huh.
I feel diminished, yeah, and
Okay.
very sad and very lonely, very alone.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, just hurt.
Yeah.
Like, you're my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And you shared with us how you then you speak, and you say some of what you're saying and seeing there.
Yeah, it was a mistake. I should have spoken to him, not her. She's oblivious.
Hmm.
She's talking, but I should have addressed anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right. Happened the way it happened. Just know
It
that.
happened the way it happened,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So right in that moment, so just right in that moment, you feel when you just described, I'm all alone over here. She's more significant, looking at him, looking at what's happening. Who would you be without the thought, he doesn't value me? So you just didn't even have that story. I mean, look around where you are in that theater. You were in a theater, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so just look around without the thought. You can even look at John without
Looking at John?
you can look at John too, but I'd say look around. There's a lot going on in a theater and an audience, right? Without the story, he doesn't value me. Just see what else you see in the moment. What else do you notice?
I'm noticing that I don't want to be there.
Ah,
I'm noticing um, that I mean, I see that there's other people there and the show is about to begin, but I lost interest in seeing the play.
hmm.
Oh, I know. I'm not answering the question, am I? You're saying without that thought.
And it just, yeah, without needing to change anything about reality, here I am in a chair. Somebody's about to perform something. Without the thought, this means he doesn't value me. Without that, you see how it kind of turns over there towards John and what's going on with John.
I don't know. I'm just like, I don't really care about the play. I'm here to be with John.
Ah, okay.
The play is very secondary. The activity is secondary. The primary is my time with him. And if
Okay.
that's gone, so for me to focus on the theater, the play
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
about to start,
Mm.
it's kind of hard.
Okay. That makes sense. I get it. Yeah. It's like the that was never even I don't have that much value for the play. Yeah. I don't have value for the play. John doesn't have value for me. Um, like so you really could find just being there.
Well, it just took the joy out of seeing the play. I mean,
Hmm.
I there was some interest in it, but everything changed.
Okay.
Instead of excitement or interest,
Hmm.
I was I couldn't even concentrate
Hmm.
for a while. Then I was able to, but
Ah, okay.
yeah,
So, I mean, it just really sounds like it's very hard. I mean, that is an amazing question. Who would you be without the thought?
yeah.
It's like might be a simple question, but it's just absolutely not easy. It's like, what if you were really somebody different? It's like just noticing something that just is going, but I'm here for John. John is what I wanted. John is what, and John's back is turned. John is looking away. John's attention is elsewhere. If that was okay, and 'cause somebody can turn away, and if we don't know what it means, if you're an alien from another planet and you just got here, and it was like humans have these things called plays, and you sit in chairs and watch, and somebody tells a story on the stage, just sit in the chair. And or if you were somebody else in the audience in the front row corner, way up there, and you just find yourself there, who would you be without any story, like without any thought? John doesn't value me, right? You wouldn't know. Or suddenly you were kind of up looking down on the ceiling, is it a beautiful ceiling, like with chandeliers and things? Is it that kind of theater?
No, it's a small theater.
Small little theater. Okay. Well, theaters are kind of interesting. So if you're up there, and just looking down at all the murmur, and here's an audience, and there's people talking, and all that's happening, and observing, just observing. Like you've got binoculars on. Your assignment is to just look and see what's going on in this room and this environment. So I love that the question too is, who would you be? It isn't demanding that you be there. No story. Have no story right now. It's not really saying that. It's just going, who would you be? Without the story, John doesn't value me. I had this thought like, if you were there with just John, and then he said, "Excuse me, I'm going to go use the restroom," and he went away to go to the bathroom, you might not have the thought, he doesn't value me, even though there you are sitting completely alone, nothing going on. Don't know where he is exactly in the moment. I mean, you can't follow it, right? Just know he's gone for a while. But something about this, if he's turning away and speaking to somebody else, here comes the story. He doesn't value me.
Well, I know what you're getting at kind of is that my experience is dependent on him
Mm-hmm.
and his presence
Yes.
versus my experience is my experience solely. It has and um, regardless of
Yeah.
what he's doing and who he is or that whole thing.
Yes.
I my brain can't seem to
Yes.
because my going. to a concert or a theater, it's a shared experience. It's the company is very important. That's, otherwise I would have gotten tickets by myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he is part of the experience. I can't just divorce myself.
Sure.
I'm
Well, so what would be the worst thing about if you really let go of it needs to go, I want his attention on me. Like that
mm,
really matters where his attention is going. Um, what would be bad about not having that thought? Is there anything that would
what would
be,
be bad about not
yeah.
having? I think letting him off the hook.
Ah, all right.
I would be indignant because I've already, because of our history, that I made so many modifications. He didn't want to do this. I accepted it. Then he didn't want to do that. Then I accepted it. But this was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was like an accumulation.
Hmm.
This was like this is and
And
uh,
yeah, so something about
so
it building up, he'd be off the hook.
yeah, I think maybe not standing up for myself, not like
Huh.
because if I just let it go, let's say, okay, he's talking to this woman and I'm just sitting there
Hmm.
and watch and not address it at all,
Mm-hmm.
I would not be respecting myself. And
Oh,
I think, yeah.
okay.
So the gain of me with my story of
Mm-hmm.
how rude and how inconsiderate, how
Hmm.
given I had just told him, like, right there. I mean, it.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
So something about it, you lose respect for yourself. That's interesting. If I let go, I'd lose respect for myself. I wouldn't be, he'd be off the hook. I mean, just good to notice that I'm afraid of that. So I feel like I need to cling on to this. I need to hold it. I need to hold.
yeah,
I
because yeah, I'm
I know
sorry.
where his attention should be. It should be on me, not over there. This is about value. This is about
Yeah, it's
being,
like he's not treating me well at this moment,
yeah.
and I'm not going to go along with that. That's not acceptable to me.
Yeah, okay, so that's very good to see that something feels like it means I would just go along with it and I wouldn't have value and he'd be, I don't know, I wouldn't stand up for myself, the things that you said. I'd just be going along with something here, be too passive if I don't hold on to this thought. Don't you love seeing how like I need to hold this thought even though it's very, very stressful. I'm in a lot of I'm in a lot of discomfort when I think his attention should go this way. If it's not, it means he doesn't value me. That's very painful to believe. I was stressful in that situation. I don't even want to stay anymore. The whole thing's out. Yeah, it's like I'm very, very upset. But I think I need the thought, even though it's an upsetting thought, to keep I don't know, stand up for myself and not let him off the hook.
Maybe survival.
Yeah, yeah, to survive somehow. Yeah,
Yeah, the abuse. I mean, he wasn't like abusing me, but um,
yeah. I mean, just good to watch that. Just watch the sense of that rise up. You know, I need this thought. I need this thought. I'm not going to let go of this thought. I need it for self-respect.
and survival.
and survival. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. For me to be intact, for me not to be continue the abuse.
Oh.
Again, he
Yeah.
wasn't, that's not an abuse, but he was aggressive. That statement, well, I disagree, was a very aggressive statement.
Hmm.
Um, for me, anyway.
Ah,
Um,
okay. So, I mean, just powerful to see. I need to keep this thought, painful as it is, in order to survive. And I like asking sometimes, just dropping in, what needs to survive here? What is that? That's the me that needs to survive. What?
uh, well, it's more like to stop the abuse.
Okay.
I'm getting flashbacks on when I was sexually abused as a
Uh-huh.
child
Yes, yes.
and being silent.
Ah,
Um, and because of that, it continued.
sure. Yeah, you have compassion for that, um, that childhood experience of it's my silence that made it continue, and I shouldn't have been silent. I should have stood up for myself, or I wish I could
I
have.
did eventually, but
Yes.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
so. I mean, the question of who would I be without that? I might die
Well,
if I didn't have that story that he's the bad guy and I'm the victim.
wow. Wow. Okay. He's a
Because
bad.
then he's going to continue doing it.
Sure.
You know, it,
Yeah.
uh, we can link, we could even in intermission go and go out and then he'll start talking to someone else and then we could leave the theater. He could start talking.
Yes. Right. It might continue and continue, and it definitely does in my mind. It's kind of what I'm seeing. But okay. So bringing in the little girl part of you, the little one that is really like, he's the bad guy. I'm a victim here. He doesn't value me. He doesn't value me. What if it was possible to not believe this thought and still be clear, be empowered? And what if it was safe to not believe this thought? I'm the
Mm.
victim. He's the bad guy.
Could you say that one more time, please?
Yeah. What if it was safe to not believe the thought? He's the bad guy and I'm the victim. Yeah. And we're not saying that what anyone did, sexual abuse to a child. I mean, my God, terrible. Um, we're not saying any of that is condoned or acceptable or anything. It's just um, watching and seeing. I notice when I've had the thought myself, he's the bad guy, I'm the victim. It just starts stirring. It can kind of have a flame that's in there, like a pilot flame that's always on. And then the minute I start thinking about it, here comes the flame. It can be like a roaring, like anger and stress, and often doesn't turn out so well later. I don't know. There's a place for very firm clarity I've seen too, like we've had like um, just sort of standing tall, feeling the center of yourself and the power of just life flowing through. But what if it was safe to not believe I'm the victim and they're the perpetrator? I just know that thought, while it does have energy, it isn't always the, doesn't always feel peaceful and beautiful. It doesn't feel like the vast empowerment, just what if I could be in this situation and not be a victim?
Well, I don't think I want to answer it the way it's supposed to be answered, but
Oh, no,
to
supposed
me,
to. No, supposed to.
to
This is
me,
exploring.
the safety is taking care of myself, and that is
Sure.
I would leave, and
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
And that might feel much better than fighting, Like sometimes that's just the common sense thing to do. It's just leave or, oh, this is different. Sit back and enjoy the play. If I really didn't want to see this play anyway in the first place, now that's another interesting thing. Like, huh, I signed up for saying yes to something I maybe didn't even want to do. I don't even like being in this environment. I didn't want to see this play. I don't know. I'm not that curious. Um,
no, I was curious.
oh,
I
okay.
was. It ended up to be a lousy play, but
Oh,
anyway.
that's funny, right? Yes.
But I stayed because I wanted to be polite, and I didn't want to be a drama queen. Like, well, I'm leaving. I was
Yeah.
like, I was civil with him. I wasn't rude at all. When after his con after I spoke up, when he turned to me, I was very nice. I wasn't like, how could you talk? No,
Mm,
I was like, okay, um, let's see what the play is. I have something I want to share with you. So I stayed
mhm.
because wanted to work it out and not
Awesome.
make a scene and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Because often that scene making is you're still in the same thought. You're like now going, I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna be the perpetrator. You get back, and I'm gonna, right? I'll show you revenge. We're still in the same story. It's
Yeah, my
yeah,
thoughts were like,
yeah,
why? Why would you? I'm I'm so hurt. Was
yeah,
I
yeah,
was very sad,
yeah. So it's really
and
just it
yeah,
is
and my heart rate was up, and
sure. And this is just I love it. We get to get like you get to come back and circle back to it and just really see. And what if I was not a victim? What if I wasn't hurt? Who would I be? And we're not like pretending you're supposed to feel something different, but what if I just didn't have the whole storyline? I need his attention to be on me, for me to be happy, for me to know I'm valued. What if I
yeah.
was valued without having anything to do with him? You know,
No, I think I did exactly what I needed to do
that's
because,
you did.
uh, yeah, um, I would have felt like he won if I got up and left. Then he could talk to her for as long, she would have been thrilled. I
Yes.
wasn't going to give her that satisfaction
Yeah.
of
So
my
you're just,
absence.
yeah, you can really see that it's just still playing in the same court, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So, but who would you really be without the thought if he doesn't give you attention the way you want it, it means you aren't valued. Like somebody not paying attention. It's very interesting. The person, sitting two tables over or two seats over who doesn't even know you, they aren't giving you any attention. but you don't think you are not valued because of that. You know what I mean? So it's really kind of like just really expand out. Like there's all those people in this audience. You don't care if anyone is giving you their attention. It might even be weird if they gave you too much attention. But this guy, John, it's like we want to tell them what kind of attention they should be giving and who they should be talking to and what we need from them. And, so you feel that dependency inside and it's hard, so hard. Hurts. It does hurt because they're not going to do it. They're not ever going to do it the way we want them to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I I want to do something. I want to live here in this world with friends and people and family and everybody doing what they're doing and just be able to touch that place that that knows I'm okay for a moment. Without my thinking, I'm okay. How fascinating that I'm in this situation. Like I think you were even seeing that at the beginning, like you were just talking about it and then it happened right in front of you. So something's kind of going like, hey, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is to to find serenity,
yes,
to
yes,
find the peace in the present moment
yes, yeah,
because I'm okay. Uh, I'm safe. I'm no one's hurting me. I'm intact. I can I'm
really,
sorry,
yeah,
but I'm not there. I'm not in for that. Who would I be without the thought?
that's
I
okay.
mean, I can conceptualize it
Yeah,
intellectually
yes.
that
And that's
yes.
why I love the question is who would you be? It's not saying get there, be someplace different than you are. I demand it. So I love it. Just wherever you are is the perfect place. Just wherever you are.
Well, mhm.
And you can see it. It's like something in you is wise and looking and kind of going, huh, yeah,
I think it's easier for me to who would I because my statement is I'm angry with him because he doesn't value me.
yes.
Without that thought, I know I can do number 4 if
Mhm.
I wasn't in the theater, like
Okay.
just in general,
Okay.
without that scenario.
Yeah. All
So
right.
just in general, like I'm sitting here now and I'm thinking about the entirety of our relationship. Then I can, without that thought that he doesn't value me, I'm great. I'm okay. I'm fabulous, as a matter of fact. I'm at peace. I have myself and I honor myself and I accept him and it's all good. But for some reason in that theater, I can't seem
Yes.
to get there.
Yes. That's all right. I mean, no forcing. I really love that this is just a question. And it's just kind of how interesting to notice. I mean, you have all the something is so wise in you. It's like I can see it, but then in the theater, and that's all right. Like everything in its own, no place you should be getting. Like just allowing it to be, well, yeah, but yeah, just allowing it to be the way it is. Just,
Yeah, and I can revisit it
yeah,
as I
yeah,
continue to do the work on this.
yeah,
I can continue to go back to that question 4 in the theater.
yeah, yes.
Continue to experiment because as I do the work, thing my perspective will change.
I found that too. You're so wise.
But
Yeah.
right this second,
You're
that's the
like,
best I
nope.
can do. That's the best I can do, Grace.
Well, it's beautiful. Like, let's just know that, you said some very, I thought the very interesting things, maybe a lot of insight. Your experience and that there's something about needing to keep the thought just to survive. and that it's just landed on that, and that'll, it's just something's looking at that. Something's looking and looking. Okay. So, who would I be without the story? He needs to value me. He doesn't value me without the story. And we do. We just fall, like, then we get to look at turnarounds. I don't value myself in that situation, in that moment. And just seeing how that's true, like an example that I wasn't valuing myself in that moment.
By putting on a smile and not like I again after I spoke up, I wasn't okay.
Mm,
I was upset, and
mm,
I wasn't honest about it because again being polite and being in a social situation, I didn't value myself in not saying, John, I'm upset right now. Perhaps we can talk about, I didn't say that. I was like, oh, let's watch this fun play. Yay. You
mm,
know,
mm, mm. Okay, okay. That's a good example. I mean, you know what your examples are. I had
let's
the
see, how
thought,
else
and
did I not value myself?
you want to hear one that I thought of that you shared?
Yes,
Um,
yes, please.
you put yourself in the victim role. You said, I'm definitely the victim. Like you just saw yourself. That's my role. Speaking of plays,
Yeah.
I'm the victim and he's the perpetrator. He's doing it to me. And I just held myself there. So I felt hurt. And that would be like I don't know, for me, that'd be like devaluing myself.
Mm, yeah.
Because everything could be the same. There he is doing
Yeah.
what he does. Even in childhood, there the person is doing what they do. And it doesn't mean I'm the victim. It's sad. It's sad and hard. But just like putting the label on myself, victim.
That's right.
Yeah. And I just, devalue something about me and how resilient, like how persistent you are, how strong, that's how still alive you are, you know?
Yeah, the survivor versus the victim.
Yeah, totally. I mean, speaking of survival, it's 100% true. Survive. Yeah, you've survived.
And I did stand up for myself in my own time
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
afterwards when we had an opportunity to process it. I
Ah,
was very, very candid,
wow.
not blaming, not attacking, but simply saying, we are very, da, 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 da.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had his point of view. And I said, it's just a matter of acceptance of who we are.
Hmm. Uh-huh. Sweet. Yeah.
Oh, I handled it very nicely, but inside me, the
Yes.
hurt and anger and
Yeah.
knowing that this was the end of our friendship.
Ah. Ah.
I knew that.
Ah.
And I ended the subscription. I changed the date.
Hmm.
So uh, we are no longer going to be seeing the remaining of the season together. And that way he could be free to talk to whoever he wants.
Well,
And
okay.
I could be free to
Yeah.
not have to, you know, endure or
Yeah.
tolerate
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm not a victim in that way. I took action. I I said, I've changed the seats and it's for the best, and
Wow.
happy trails to you.
Yes. That's wonderful. Wow. Yes. So, so good. I mean, and it's just seeing that turnaround come alive. I didn't value myself. And that then, I mean, there's evidence that that's not true. But, where is it that it was true? Because I believe he didn't value me. So how was I believing I didn't value myself? And maybe that happened even before he ever didn't value me, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He just kind of lined up with something I was already seeing or doing.
Yeah, well, I didn't value myself by seeking attention from someone who is not capable of giving me. He told me himself, giving me
Oh,
that attention. He told
yeah.
me himself, he says, "You deserve a better friend than what I can give you." He's 86 years old. He said, "I
Oh,
can't change."
yeah. Wow. So I love that. It's great evidence too for the turnaround. I don't value him. Just like value, accept, see who he is. I don't value his, just something with how he is, how he's hooked up, how he's made.
Yes, I don't value him.
I wanted it to be different.
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, I accepted with each boundary that he set. I was like, okay, okay, okay. So, yes and no.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
Hmm.
did value him because I kept accommodating his style.
Mhm, mhm.
uh,
And it's just finding the evidence of the turnaround. Like it doesn't matter so much what you did. It's more like something inside that was saying, I don't like it or whatever. I didn't value. You know what it
yeah,
was, you know?
yeah, I don't value him. Well, I don't value him. Let's see.
Well, you don't want him to be your friend anymore. I mean, you're cutting off the relationship. So, and that it just no right or wrong at all. But does that fit as an example for you? It's like, I don't value him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't value his inflexibility, how rigid he is,
Mhm. Hmm.
and that then he's like a narcissist. Like that's more important. His way is much more important
Hmm.
um than our friendship, than giving in a little bit, like maybe calling me once every 2 months, or
Hmm.
or
Mhm.
making one plan
Hmm.
every 6 months, something. But no,
You might have a little similarity to him. Yeah. It's like if you turned it around. I, he, um, yeah, I don't value him and his inflexibility or his rigid or that he doesn't lean or that, and, um, anyway, just noticing I'm set on my way too. And so I have it the way I want it. And so I'm taking action to make that happen. And just
yeah,
noticing, and that's right for you. So he could be the same. It's right, how he is right for him. Yeah, like you said, he's had a whole long life, and that's what it looks like at 80.
yeah, and because he's of his age and his unique personality, I've allowed a lot of things that normally I would not.
Yeah.
Like
Ah,
if a friend says to me, "No, I don't make plans. I can't make commitments. Um, I can't see you." Uh, 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 you know, well, normally that just doesn't work for me. I do to have a friendship
yeah.
entails making some plans. It doesn't have to be every month or but once in a. So in that way, I'm not flexible. I do have
Mhm.
standards, my own standards for friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I gave him a lot of leeway. It was like, you don't
Yeah.
want to do this? Okay, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Someone else, I would say no. I need this. I do need this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just seeing, like just looking. I don't value him, and he does value me. He has valued me.
Yes, he has. He
Yes.
took me he took me out to dinner for my birthday.
Ah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's the one who wanted the subscription with me.
And he might have been doing some of the same thing with like knowing that the set plans and everything isn't his deal, that he's trying to be flexible and like get something that would work for the two of you and, offer up the subscription idea or whatever. Say no, say yes. Who knows?
Yes. So I don't know. I didn't value that
Yeah.
here he's didn't I mean he could have asked anybody, but he asked me.
Yeah. So
And
that's pretty
the subscription in itself is a commitment.
yeah. That's
It's
a pretty long
six
commitment.
plays. Yeah,
Yeah.
six
Yes.
plays.
Hmm. That's a big, yeah, that's saying, hey, I'm in, not just once, but for this whole season. Yeah. Yeah. And then you can just carry it on, like you said, I love your wisdom of seeing that turnaround might show up in the theater, that I'm not valuing him and he does value me right here in that theater, even in the moment when his head is turned and he's speaking to somebody else. And it's okay if it doesn't come yet, you know. And it's about I love it remembering, really, really being with that this is for my own peace and my own heart. And I know I don't like it if I'm hating the way somebody is and feeling like a victim of their behavior. You should change so I can feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
normally I would be very appreciative of his that he's very social, he's very gregarious, and his interest in people. I think that's lovely. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I do admire it, but in that instance, I did not admire it. It
Yeah.
was inappropriate.
Yeah. Well, and that's okay. It just didn't line up for you. And it did for him, though. It's appropriate for
Yeah.
him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's his job
Yes.
to
Yeah.
be,
Yes. It's his
uh,
job. It's his job. It's his job
to
to be a helper for
to be everywhere and nowhere.
yes.
Uh,
Yeah. And maybe even his job to help you let's navigate even more with like being with people and yeah, expectations and value that it has something to do with you. Has something to do with you that when you take it personally and it feels like it has to do with your inherent value, that's that
yes,
you want to learn, like you want to learn how to be with that and not take it so personally.
that's the gift really
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
he doesn't determine my value,
Yes.
regardless of who he talks to. If he could
Yes.
be talking to everyone in the theater, it
Yes.
doesn't take away from my worth.
That's right. Sure doesn't. What an amazing thing to know.
And the acceptance that we're two different people with different needs, different styles. It
Yes.
doesn't, and it's no longer workable for me, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. At least not in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of it also has to do with I got tired of I felt like he was always doing the controlling, like know this, know that, no,
Mhm.
and I'm always like, okay, you don't want to do that, okay, you don't want, and and then I took control
Hmm.
for the first time. I said, I don't want to be a subscriber with you.
Yes. Yeah.
because he's always shutting me out. And
Mm. It is interesting to see just right, and how long did it take for me to get the message? I mean, if he was shutting me out a lot, like maybe next time it'll take less.
yeah,
Or
well, we never saw each other because he's never available.
yeah, yeah. Next time with any other person, another
Yes,
human being who's saying no.
that's true.
Like,
That's true.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a lesson in relaxing where my attention travels. That's like
To
their
the other.
attention goes away from me, and then my attention goes on to them, and like to bring it back to me. I'm the most wonderful person in the world that I care about here, not that other person and whatever they're doing. Yeah,
Yeah, and needing something from him that
yeah,
he clearly is not capable of it. It's not his fault.
yeah. Right, right.
He and that's okay.
Yes, yes,
And at the same time, honoring and respecting my needs
yes.
and to fulfill them in other ways.
I love how you found like that turnaround example of I don't value myself because I just say, okay, okay, and I kind of try to move it however like twist myself around so that it fits, fits something.
Well, I'm trying to be open and accepting of of his uniqueness and who he is as a person.
Maybe you are open and accepting of his uniqueness. Yeah,
Yeah,
try to
and
be.
to a great extent, it was okay. Was a but then anyway.
Yeah.
So it ran its course. But now there, what I'm in doing the work, I'm doing the work because of the residual sadness and hurt and anger that I still
Right.
feel.
Yes, yes. I
Mm.
always like being open to I have no idea what is going to happen in the future. And there's certain things I set up and can do for myself, but I have no idea. There'll be, if this friend is over, then there'll be another friend that comes along and might do the same thing until I'm done with this argument with reality. So I love that you came today. It's beautiful. It's exactly what to do is come with the residual. It doesn't mean I did something wrong or need to go do something else differently. I'm just looking at the pain as
And despite the fact that I didn't answer number 4 correctly, or
well, no incorrect or correct. It's just
yeah,
noticing
yeah,
uh, um, something looks like I need to keep that in order to survive. And that'll just, I love seeing that and kind of seeing the holding on to I need to keep this thought. I need to keep this thought. And just I'm willing to wonder what it's like without it. And
yeah, yeah. That's great. I'm going to keep playing with that
yes, yes,
of releasing that and what that would be like for me, and what the underneath fear of letting it go.
yes, yes, beautiful. I don't know if any of us would keep stressful thoughts unless we thought they were really important to keep, you know?
Yeah,
That's amazing to identify that it looks how important it looks and just tremendous, really tremendous from those and the all the way back to childhood experiences and what is it in human nature for safety and survival and what do I need to do and how to be and that I can question that I don't know, suffering is required. I can question that. Amazing.
well, thank you so much for allowing me to do the work
Oh my
and
God.
to helping me to see things in a different light. And I will continue to do that as I work on this worksheet.
Yeah.
Uh, is the questions and the investigating and the examining,
Yes. Well,
and I'm open to
and
see where
so
that takes me to
yeah.
freedom.
Yeah. He was so courageous and so willing, I really think that's a beautiful, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you, my friend.
Thank you so
Now,
much. Beautiful to
thank
be with you
you.
today. Lots of love.
Same to you.